So a couple of weeks ago, I asked my good friend who makes ARK mods a simple question. Can you make every dino invisible? To which he replied, why? Content. Understood.
A few minutes later.
Oh look! Adillo! Hi there, little guy! What the hell? Alright, let's get to business. First, we of course have to name our character. And there's only one fake name. Invisivex! Looking back on the title I have given him, it sounds like a name that would be given to a transparent condom brand with the catchphrase being Invisivex. Perfect fit for gay sex. Putting our interior fantasies aside, I awoke with sand under my toenails on top of other places where the sun doesn't shine. So, step 1, we need to find a good base location, which will be mandatory to keep us safe from the scary invisible predators. Taking in our surroundings, I have come to the realization that this place is more dehydrated than my last crush after I told her I make funny dinosaur videos. Remembering that moment while taking a stroll and regretting my life choices, I got brutally attacked by something I couldn't even see. Was it a mirage? A hallucination of a loving girlfriend? Or perhaps early signs of stage 2 schizophrenia? Nobody knows, but it was fast. Running for my dear life and regretting the choices that have led me here, I treated the unseen fiend to the old school classic razzle-dazzle, whipping a full circle around the tree and saving my sweaty ass cheeks from being inappropriately touched, barely surviving the horrific encounter. To further enhance this realization, as I was trying to come to my senses from the near-death experience I just had, I got hit with a tasty, scrumptious, delectable plate of unforeseeable death. Oh, and what the fuck? What? That was pretty scary. Unforeseeable death. This 65 rappers here going to fuck me up. Damn, this challenge is getting really hard.
Unforeseeable death.
I mean, look. Ah! Fucking invisible shits! After getting brutally pegged by the local emo girl's 20 different personalities, God himself smiled upon our pulsating chocolate starfish and took pity on it by blessing us with a Morella Tops corpse. Ooh, that's very good, I want that. Hey. Relieving the corpse of its skin landed as a sleeping bag. Conveniently enough, as soon as I placed it down, an invisible saber-tooth decided it did not like me building in the area, and as a form of protest, it decided to deglove me. Ah, yes! Holy fuck.
A few moments later.
Retrieving my items that now curiously held the pungent odor of salty coins and milk. Run. My third eye of debilitating schizophrenia finally bloomed as I heard a door knock in my right ear. Motherfucker, holy fuck. Did the Grim Reaper finally come to my door to give me the sweet release of death? Or is it the goth girl coming back for round 21? Neither. Unbeknownst to me at the time, the birth giver of this mod decided it would be a really funny idea to add copious amounts of voice cracks in Vex's video because he is a fucking idiot! My apologies, I lost my cool there. Let's try again, shall we? The birth giver of this mod decided it would be a really funny idea to add copious amounts of scary sound effects that randomly play at 25-minute intervals. Got it. Why specifically the number 25, you might ask? Well, because I said so. Now that our timbers have been thoroughly shivered by this MP3 file, it was time to go on an epic gamer grinding session. Which, just like me, didn't last very long, as I have obtained a bow and a full quiver of arrows rather swiftly. Having these armaments in my possession did not help one bit to increase the size of my nutsack, however, because I still thoroughly soiled my undies after getting jump scared by this snake. And of course, as a form of self-preservation, I added a few extra nostrils to the snake's head.
Oof, okay.
Then skinning its corpse and crafting a set of cloth armor to cover our succulent nipples that the local wildlife so desperately wants to suckle on.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
As the tailoring exam was taking place, I got yet another violent outburst of crippling schizophrenia. First getting hit with a poison viren attack sound effect that made the pent-up dirt in my anal crevice eject out of the forbidden hole at subsonic speeds. Mother... What the fuck? What? Then getting finished off by a terror bird roar. Ah! Quite angered by the back-to-back jump scares, I soon realized that the second sound I heard was in fact not a fragment of my imagination. Rather instead, a terror bird in flesh, fully ready to take advantage of mine. Ah! Our attempt to outrun the Satan chicken was good for nothing. No! As it ended up pinning me down in the nearby lake and indulging in the carnal fetish of aquaphilia. Then, soon after, bringing its friend to see the body fluid mixed water it left in its wake. As this was happening, they caught me being a peeping Tom and tried covering up their crime by murdering me. Unfortunately for them, watching all of those Spider-Man NPC TikTok livestreams paid off, as I successfully made my escaping jump towards freedom. Ring around the rosing around the lake, I had yet another near-death experience in the form of a horny Caprosuchus.
What the... Ah!
Yeah, no, get the fuck away from me.
Thankfully, it did not want to use damaged goods that was our ARK character, making it miss ever so slightly. Thank the Lord. Finally, I got my body.
Get me the fuck away from this fucking lake!
Returning to our building spot, I smacked down a thatch foundation and put a bed on top of it. Now that we have a permanent respawn location, we may go out and explore the dunes in search of caffeinated beverages and single moms in our general area. Yes, finally. While on the lookout for before-mentioned treasures, my Cheeto eyes have detected a cartel of direwolves just chilling about. Not wanting to fall victim to their intrusive thoughts, I swiftly avoided them and saw a deserted fort located in the nearby proximity. Waddling over to it, I unboxed the ancient treasures I had laid my crusted hands upon. And inside was none other than the first book of Grandmaster of Demonic Cultivation. After vividly memorizing every word written in this heavenly piece of literature, I got an experience boost which will last for the following 600 seconds. Sadly, they were not put to good use, as while trying to violently subdue the Spiroceratherium that is definitely on the screen right now, yeah, it's right here, you see it? I'm not crazy, it's right here. Another saber-toothed tiger jumped me from behind and... well, you can see the rest on my only Cheetos.
Motherfucker!
I am really starting to dislike these animals, and am thoroughly overjoyed that they went extinct. As a form of revenge, I decided to show the local wildlife my new stone arrow collection, persuading them to try them orally, although they kept ingesting them through their cranium for some odd reason. Very weird specimens indeed. However, it's okay. It's alright. Everything is fine. Why, you might ask? Because with the newly acquired hide, I can finally satiate my dominatrix's flagellism fetish. A few hours later, and our cheeks now redder than the crimson biome from Terraria, I've made up my mind to get better armor for the sake of protecting my Bippy from being whipped in the future. Meaning it was time to depart on a treacherous quest for gathering metal. So, it's time to commence the epic gamer metal grinding session! One cool transition later and we find ourselves at the foot of this mountain. How will we ever climb this? It's so big! I know you giggle at that. Thankfully, our character seems to be a distant descendant of mountain goats, as he decided to nonchalantly climb the mountain at a 76-degree angle. A few sprained ankles later and we've made it to the top of the mountain, and of course... Oh my fucking lord, is that a walking rock? After Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson tried giving us the Caesar Zeppeli treatment unsuccessfully, we swiftly evaded him and climbed to the peak of the hill, mining a handful of metal and shoving it in our comically deep pockets. Then parachuting off the hill back to our base of operations. God help me. All while looking below us and realizing how fucked we would have been had we tried hiking back home. Once I have arrived back home, I killed some of my neighbors. And God did not like this. So he decided to scare me a little bit to remind me that I am in fact not safe at all. And he did this in a quite clever way actually, by playing a raptor sound effect while I was in the act of committing omnicide.
That's a fake sound effect. It played literally at the perfect time. Holy, that was scary.
This will never get old. With more skin of my enemies now in my possession, I made a forge, smelted the metal, then made a smithy, metal pickaxe, and almost a full set of desert gear. Only missing the goggles because I was a little short on crystal. This missing piece of the desert set will act as a constant reminder of my utter failures to meet the expectations I set for myself. With our newfound armaments and a fresh pair of unsoiled undergarments, I repeated the grueling process of walk to the hill, maniacally hit the rock like it's the sole reason your parents left you at a gas station when you were a baby, and parachute back home, until I have acquired about 200 units of uncooked metal. With this newfound metal, I can finally make myself a set of 60-kilogram shoes and go swimming. YouTube, that's a joke? Please don't demonetize me. Future plans aside, the next step of the operation is to recreate the hit series called Breaking Bad. Caressing these bushes erotically allowed us to harvest various types of berries. The only ones we are interested in for now at least are the narco berries. Putting a few of them into this mini cauldron, and adding a handful of spoiled meat that is more rancid than battery acid on top of them, then mush it together and mix it around, we get xylazine. While the remaining batch of horse tranquilizer brews up, I treated myself to an upgrade station. With this powerful contraption now at our disposal, I used up the secondary raw materials I had stockpiled in my anal cavity to upgrade my crossbow all the way to Mastercraft tier.
Ooh!
Huge. Why? Because it was starting to get quite itchy in there. Oh, you mean why I upgraded my crossbow? Oh. Well, that's rather simple actually. It was time to start our taming spree. The first creature on our freedom campaign is going to be a Procoptodon. To subdue this vicious beast, we will need 3 wooden billboards on which we will write heinous insults in a language only we can understand, because we are too afraid to say it to the creature's face, as well as a bear trap. Sadly, I couldn't think of a witty sentence for that part. My sincerest apologies go out to the victims and their families. Sorry for your loss. After spending some time spelunking for the big marsupial, I only found 2 low-level beta ones whose only spare time activities are day trading.
Doesn't seem to be one in... Oh! It's a low level though.
Truly I am grateful for the offer, oh Mr. Sigma Procoptodon. However, I sadly happen to not be interested in paying 350 euros a month for your day trading course. Thankfully, the gnarly sight was short-lived, as soon after I found ARK's equivalent of the Garden of Eden. In this one small, itsy-bitsy area, I found a level 100 Ankylosaurus,
Ooh, high level Anky, okay.
Lymantria,
High level Lymantria.
and a level 90-something Procoptodon.
What? What?
This marvelous sight caused me to uncontrollably blow all over the place several times. Starting off with the top priority tame, which was the kangaroo, I placed down the bear trap, which, just like the girl I was texting a month ago, took its sweet time to open up. But hey, at least the large bear trap didn't leave me undelivered for 16 hours straight, then follow up with the oldest trick in the book by saying, "Sorry, I fell asleep." Jessica, you were in fact not asleep for 16 hours. Please don't lie to me.
Okay, well, our large bear trap is gonna be pretty useless, I guess. Because the fucker just decided to go the opposite fucking way!
Realizing I had to take the matters into my own hands, I clenched my butt cheeks hard enough to snap a toddler's spinal cord in half, running up to the invisible creature and managing to trap it on my first attempt?
I did it! I did it! I did it! Oh my god! Oh my goodness! I did it! Holy fuck!
With the creature now effectively immobilized, I injected it with a generous amount of before-crafted tranquilizer. Then fed it some psychedelic mushrooms to earn its eternal loyalty to me.
Later that same evening.
Now, while we're at it, I might as well tame the Anky we saw nearby. There wasn't really anything too interesting in particular about the process. It was just a rinse and repeat of the previous encounter. Finally he tamed. Took you long enough. With 2 creatures now subdued under our iron fist, we returned back to the base with the taste of sweet, succulent victory in our mouth. As a means of celebration, I crafted 100 arrows, and then fed them to my new neighbors to yet again harvest their skin.
Holy fuck.
Why are you doing this again, Vex? My little lovely Cheeto Phrenic. For crafting saddles, of course. Our 2 new friends need fitting attire if they're going to be carrying Vexilon's glorious bosom. With the minions now strapped into their saddles, it was time to commence a large-scale excavation operation. AKA... for metal.
Say hi to the new Galaxy Note.
Which commenced quickly after.
What the fuck? Oh, Golem. Dear lord.
Landing me at a staggering 2 stacks. Yes, I hauled my oversized kangaroo to the summit of Mount Bumfuck of Nowhere, brutalized copious amounts of rocks, and then hauled my now encumbered oversized kangaroo back to base for a mere 600 shillings of metal. With the metal now smelting in the microwave alongside my third infant hamster, it was time to advance to the third step of conquering this accursed land, which was to tame an Argentavis. To commence this conquest, I first farmed the resources for the trap. One orgasm later and it is acquired. Now, all that's left to do is to find one. That should be substantially easy considering the given fact that every dino is fucking invisible. A few disgusting low levels later and we finally found a level 100 Argentavis.
Oh! Do my schizophrenic eyes deceive me, or is that a level 100 Argentavis?
Lucky me! Hopefully this Argentavis wants to be my friend.
Why does it have 200 HP? Please don't die.
Wakanda forever!
You've gotta be fucking kidding me! Why? Why did you die? Why?
Never mind. The thought of being my companion coerced this flying pigeon into offering its flesh to the carnivorous fauna around it. After that gnarly sight, I still somehow held a sliver of hope that we'd be able to find an RG to tame. And shockingly, I found a level 96 nearby.
I'm about to blow all over the place twice!
Hell yeah, baby! A second chance! Surely it can't be worse than the first one. Oh, how wrong I was. Starting off, I tried setting the trap, which, due to my inability to make coherent movements, proved to be very much impossible. As I was struggling to do so, I got jumped by a minor gang of invisible goons.
Yeah.
Featuring a Pulmonoscorpius, Sabertooth, the very Argentavis I was trying to tame, and 2 whole rock elementals.
Oh, I should have got a fucking heart rate monitor. No, there's a Sabertooth!
I was frantically pissing and shitting in my pantaloons. However, that didn't stop me. When they get dirty, I get dirtier. That sounds fucking horrible. I managed to tranquilize the flying behemoth without a trap, because I'm simply just that good.
There you are. Okay, come here. Haha, stupid bird got fucking drugged.
Now, the only task remaining is to find some prime meat, and that's it. How hard could that be? Very hard. I spent the equivalent of 2 high school math classes searching for 2 slivers of prime meat.
Bro, I just killed like 20 dinos here and there's not a single corpse left. What the fuck happened? Did they fall into the back rooms? Where's my 2 prime meat? Hello?
But to no avail, of course. Why would we give X prime meat for once in his fucking life? Sorry. My bad. Empty-handed, I returned to my sleeping pigeon to check up on its torpidity level, where I was met with a devastating sight of its mutilated corpse and its intestines splattered across the ground.
Bro! You gotta be... My Argentavis died!
Next to the crime scene, a single scorpion was found next to the corpse, with its stinger in a questionable place. Taking in the morbid scene, I took part in the hit activity that the teens these days call crashing the fuck out.
I'm logging off, dude. I'm not playing this game today anymore. Nah. This, no. I spent more time searching for 2 raw prime meat than my father spent trying to love me, and my RG dies again! What the fuck is happening anymore? How does this game fucking work? No! Get me out of this fucking game. I'm not playing this anymore. I'm not playing this anymore! Oh yeah, no. Please fall into the Wyvern Trench. Please fall down. Please, please. The last thing I need right now to make me completely is my Precognon to jump into the fucking lava and sacrifice itself to the fucking god of fire!
Wow, Vex! Your violent outbursts of anger and inability to control your emotions really made me chuckle. The suffering you endured for our sakes is so glorifyingly entertaining that I just got butterflies in my stomach. Please continue. Voice crack. Sadly, I will not be doing that, as I have made the first smart decision in the last 58 weeks, which was to log off of ARK when I got angry.
Okay, time to log off. GG. No more ARK for today.
That night, my imaginary girlfriend did not look me in the eyes while we made love. I barely managed to fall into the sweet release of slumber that night.
Tomorrow.
Awakening on the following morning, I was fully determined to load back into this social experiment that is ARK Survival Evolved and tame that motherfucking pigeon. Strapped in, oiled up, and absolutely caked up to the brim, I was ready to try again. Scouring the nearby surroundings while listening to the absolute goat of music that is DM Dakuro. While doing so, the angelical melodies of his music summoned down a max level Argent Davis.
150 RG! Yes! Listen, the dire calamities of this please don't take this away from me.
Okay, this time, we simply cannot afford to mess up. So, let's tame this pigeon.
Ooh, fuck yeah, baby! I just spontaneously blew 3 loads into my pants.
Wow, I guess third time's the charm, huh? Had I failed again, the amount of generational embarrassment would have been passed down to my future grandchildren. Now, returning to the base with the invisible flying chicken in our Pokeball, I quickly farmed up the resources for its saddle, as one usually does, and then went on a journey to level it up. How will I level it up, you might ask? Well, by committing unspeakable acts of literature, of course. Starting off with the classics, Scum Villain's self-saving system, followed by the Painter of the Night and Darkfall. And to completely cement my public image into the ground, also read the entirety of Sign. Do with that information what you will. Damn, if you told me a year ago when I started this channel that I'd be raking boys' love novels, I would not believe you. Don't worry, guys. I was doing this for XP grinding purposes only. Trust me. Specific hobbies aside that, if I elaborate on, will get me demonetized, the RG is finally leveled up. As for the stats spread, it's rocking about 160 movement speed and the rest of the points went into its balls. Why? Because it's going to need 2 cast iron bells in between its chicken legs if it wants to steal the wyvern eggs. With our bells swinging in the wind like a grandfather clock, it was all in vain, as there were literally no eggs to be found. And no, they were not invisible. I checked. The wyverns just didn't want to indulge in the carnal process of procreation for some reason. Either the male wyverns got caught having an affair, or the female wyverns were on their period. Whichever the case was, I didn't want to find out. While this was happening, a superheat happened to start, making the skin off my back melt into a slimy puddle of Cheeto sludge, causing me to return home defeated. But hey, at least I've got the before-mentioned books to entertain me. After waiting out the superheat in my scrotum now being turned into a sludgy amalgamation due to its repeated exposure to the intense heats, I emerged at nightfall, looking for a worthwhile companion to eternally enslave and exploit for my financial benefit. And holy sweet thighs of lean beef patty! I found a level 108 Rex.
Ooh, 108.
Quick Rex! Crank it out before it informs the government of your fraudulent bank activity. You aren't leaking my 16 years of tax evasion, you oversized lizard.
Hey, don't fall off the cliff. Wait. Hey. Okay, there we go. He's out. Nice.
A few minutes later.
Nice.
Soon after it awoke under my command, I sucked it into my Pokeball, further preventing the leakage of how I managed to afford the 486 Vaporeon PSA 10 cards. After saying those words out loud, I realized that Tylacolio heard about my behind-the-scenes business, which further coerced me into tranquilizing it, and then shortly after subduing it under our iron fist just like the Rex before it. Now, to those of you interlacing your crusty little toes below your table and digging for treasure in your belly button while also asking yourself the obvious question, does Vex have erectile dysfunction? I mean, why isn't Vex taming a wyvern? And the reason is simple. I didn't get lucky. While the wyverns would on paper be a better ethnic minority to send on a suicide mission to incinerate the manticore, to our great misfortune, the wyverns seemed to turn asexual as soon as I entered the proximity of the wyvern trench. So that isn't a plausible source of manpower since they don't want to make babies. Meanwhile, we have already obtained one Rex fit for before mentioned task. So at that point, why not just go balls deep into the Rex strategy? What's the worst that could happen? That'll be unified later though when we get the breeding partner. For now, let us depart to the dunes for the sole reason of painting the crispy gold sand crimson red, which we'll be doing on the back of our Tylacolio to desensitize it to the act of taking another creature's life, because it'll need that skill shortly. Breaking news! The population of the dunes has mysteriously been dropping down as a psychedelic cracked out schizophrenic Cheeto tiger mauls unsuspecting pedestrians on a Tylacolio for no reason. Victims include Reginald the Mantis, gone but not forgotten, Ismaila the Arthroplera, most rancid spit in the entire northern dunes, and Greg. He kinda deserved it. Our sincerest condolences go out to the victims and their families. Those were your daily news. Now, back to our main program.
The giant horse conch weighs over 11 pounds.
With our Tylacolio fully leveled up and desensitized to every form of inhumane torture it inflicted on its victims, we were ready to do some cave runs. Starting off with the big cave, I entered it confidently, ready to spit roast every invisible cornball that dared stand in my way. However, it was eerily empty. Surely this means that the dinosaurs got scared of me and ran away. Wrong.
Oh, look who's there.
Yup. You aren't schizophrenic. Those are indeed Megalos and Troodons. One thing I didn't mention beforehand was that the accursed mother by the name of Corrupted Prime really decided to live up to his name. He did so by corrupting the caves of Scorched Earth with HIV-riddled Troodons and STD-induced Megalos. Thankfully, after implementing my slow stroke technique, I took my sweet time, scanning the area in front of me with my laser eyes, locating the target, exterminating, and advancing further. Doing that, I arrived to the end of the cave, and harvested the artifact of the whatever it was, I can't remember, and then made my escape towards freedom. Now, to cut you guys a tiny bit of slack, the process of acquiring the other two carcinogenic rocks was absolutely identical. Just run in, get to the artifact, AFK until it spawns, collect, and go back home. Now, while returning home from the archaeological expeditions with the glowy rocks in my pockets, I spotted another high-level Rex. Ooh!
108? You know what? I'll take it.
No, I was not dreaming. I slapped myself in the face, poured citric acid in my ears, and even shocked myself with the taser. I even took my meds. And while my harem of dragon girls did disappear, the Rex didn't. Without wasting a second, I tranked it out and tamed it.
Perfect spot to get knocked out. Nice. Rex tamed.
Perfect. Now, returning home, I unleash my newfound male Rex out of his Pokeball. And, well, he immediately ran to the ovulating female Rex. And what followed soon after I cannot verbalize, or else YouTube is going to limit my ad suitability on this video. If they haven't done that already, that is. So, for once in this video, I'll just shut up and show you the numerous hours of nerve-blocking, nipple-twisting, hallucination-inducing grind I had to suffer through. Enjoy. What the actual hell am I even doing with my life anymore? Let's just get this over with. I hauled my ass over to the green obelisk, and while placing down the Rexes, I got caproed for the first time in the run.
Ah, Capro. Fuck. No, the Rexes.
Guess I just couldn't have went without it. Well, maybe it's this map's way of saying farewell to me, as, slight spoiler alert, I'm about to enter the domain of the gods and slap their faces silly. Without further ado, let this show begin!